Hola and welcome, guys. Good afternoon. Can you believe it? It is 12 weeks of great information. I'm so excited about today's session. We have a culmination of 12 sessions of amazing information that we're going to share with you again today. So we're going to recap everything. Something very exciting. We have live stream on YouTube, yay, and on Facebook. So guys on Facebook, hi and welcome. Great to see all of you. Guys, I want to thank you so much for your support and for being here. It's been 12 weeks of your life, besides being 12 weeks of my life, of sharing knowledge and getting to know each other, forging relationships, sharing ideas and opinions across the board. And, I was going through all 11 sessions, and even I was mind blown with the kind of information that's been shared. So I'm really excited about recapping everything, looking at the highlights and the insights of what we've covered the last 12 weeks. Can you believe it? It's 3 months that you've dedicated to this. So I want to say kudos to you. Pat yourselves in the back. Well done. It's really been such a ride, and I'm so glad that I could share this ride with you. All right. So because it is our business growth program, we want you to walk away with action steps to help you grow your business. If you're only starting out now or you've been in business for a few years, it's fine, because whatever we have shared here, you can implement at any stage in your business. But guys, remember that this ultimately is on you. I can share as much of my experiences I want, as much of my knowledge that I've gained over more than a decade of being an entrepreneur. I can feed it to you in a presentation on a weekly basis. I can spell it out for you. But at the end of the day, you need to take action, because if you don't take action, it's not going to happen. And with everything in life, there are sacrifices. So if you're not prepared to make sacrifices, well, it's going to be a struggle. If you look at the likes of, let's say, Sara Blakely, she is the founder of Spanx. Spanx is a billion-dollar company. For the ladies, you'll know it's the undergarments to help shaping with the body. And she started this from an apartment, doing everything herself, like we all do. But she stuck to her dream. She took action steps daily, in her lunch break when she was working full-time, after hours, on weekends. No one said to her, Sarah, these are the steps that you must take. She went and did her research. She went and did her knowledge base. And again, it's up to you to do the same thing. So I'm more than happy to share nuggets of information. I'm more than happy to share my knowledge anytime. My door is always open to you, because I know when I was starting out, I would love to have been privy and had access to the kind of information and knowledge that I have now. Of course, it's all based on experience, and experience is a good school. All right, so you need to take action. It's so important that you follow the steps, that you implement, and that you stick to it. So consistency is key. And if you don't stick to it, well, can you expect great results then? So guys, in the comments section, I want you to share with me who of you have done your lean canvas. That was part 1. We looked at your lean business canvas, and I love it because it's the new way of your business plan or your business blueprint. So in the comment section, let me know who of you have already done your lean business canvas. So a few highlights from that session. We took an overview of your business. So I asked all of you a week before the time to go and do your homework and go and prepare your lean canvas, so that you have a better understanding and a better idea of where you're currently in your business. Now, for me, the Lean Business Canvas is a great overview of what's happening in your business, and it's a quick snapshot. So instead of reams of paper and documents and 36 pages of this and 40 pages of that, you have everything in plain sight, one shot, and you can see where you need to work, what your next steps are. So if you go back to that session, you'll see that there's a sequence that you need to follow in order to complete your lean canvas. I don't want you to start from left to right. You need to start in your customer segment and move from there. So you need to know who's your target market. And something else, guys, make a note. your target market keeps on coming up. Why? You'll see in every single session we mention this. And it's not just because we have run out of information to share. It's because it's that important. You need to know who your target market is, because your target market will dictate everything from there. And for those of you who are doing marketing, who are doing sales, who started a business and you're not getting anywhere, well, it could be that you're not targeting correctly and you're not speaking to the right people in the right way. The Lean Canvas will also show you and help you identify what is the pain that you solve, because all of us started our business for a reason, and there's always a particular pain that we're solving. And with this, we can understand, okay, for customer X, they have this pain, and so product A will solve that particular pain. All right, then we also took a look at your pricing module. So we broke down what it would cost you to, let's say, either put together a service or your product and everything that goes with it. So your peripherals, like data, hosting, if it's product research, market research, all of these need to be factored into your selling price. Here's another point that we keep on coming across, and it's also been hit on in a couple of sessions, is your USP, your unique selling proposition. So what is that one thing that sets you apart? What's that one thing that will make people buy from you, that will encourage them to engage with you? If you understand what your unique selling proposition is, it's going to make it so much easier for you to engage with your audience, for them to buy from you. Then you will also see that in that session, it really will only take 20 minutes to complete your canvas. 20 minutes. That's nothing. I'm sure most of you spend easily 20 minutes on Facebook at a time or Instagram. So surely you can take 20 minutes to work on your business to give yourself a good overview of where you are currently and where you want to go. All right. And then the last thing that we also asked is that you do a quarterly review so that you know where it is you are in your business currently. So if you have done your Lean Canvas model, and again, 3 months ago, that's a long time, surely it's time for you to review it. Surely it's time for you to go back and say, all right, I have done my targeting. I have looked at my customer segmentation. I've looked at my competitors. I need to revisit those parts again. I need to really understand what it is that is needed. Where am I falling short? What is not working? Is it not being consistent, or is it just that we need to understand where it is that the business is going? All right, so it's so important that we really revisit this Lean Business Canvas. Okay. In the comment section, just tell me, everyone, can you hear me okay? A quick thumbs up in the comment section, guys. Yes, no. Is the audio fine? I don't want there to be any feedback. I want you to hear me clearly. I don't want you to miss any important points. So in the comment section, just let our moderator know that you can hear us okay. Okay, so there's no feedback, there's no reverb. Cool. All right, thanks, guys. Just want to check that everything is cool before we carry on. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, 3 months ago, can you believe it? 3 months, that's a long time. So what have you done in the last 3 months? As we've gone through every week, have you implemented on a weekly basis everything that we've learned, and then revisited the past week things to make sure that we are on track? Because if we haven't done that, then we have fallen seriously behind, and it's going to be very difficult to catch up. The good news is that we can. It's we have time, but we need to have a sense of urgency about whatever it is that we are doing. All right, part 2, we looked at brand culture. And I was in a toss-up between which one to do first, between brand culture and the Lean Canvas. That's how important this session is. You know, branding is a pivotal point of our marketing. And the greatest part of branding is positioning. And again, I almost want to say, there's that swear word. Because how have you positioned yourself? How have you positioned your business in the marketplace, in your industry? Are you have expert skills? Do you specialize in a niche? So the way that you positioned yourself will again speak to your target market. It will make it easier for your marketing and your outreach. Positioning is so important. I almost feel like we should do a session sometime in the future just on positioning because it's that important. All right, then we looked at the 20-20-20 concept. So I don't know how many of you took the time to do that. Now, the 20-20-20 concept, broken down very quickly, is take a moment, an hour, 2 hours, and write down 20 words that pops up in your mind when you think of your business. And it doesn't have to be just nouns or verbs. It could be a place. It could be another person, like a Sarah Blakely. It could be a color, whatever it is. So mountain, green, foliage, clouds, car, whatever it is that you thought of when you thought of your business, write those words down. Then you need to take about 2 hours to go and research every single word that you wrote down. Okay. And then you need to ask yourself, why did I think of green when I thought of my business? Why did the word car pop up when I thought of my business? And write that down. All right. So that's going to help you to streamline where it is that you're going with your business, who you're targeting, what you want to achieve. Target market. There's that. There's that word again. Target market. All right. So this is how important it is, guys. Your starting block, your starting point with your business is understanding your target market. Again, if you don't know who your target market is, it's going to be like flinging mud to the wall and hoping that something sticks. Really, it's going to make your life so difficult. So understand who your target market is. Go and do your homework on that. Go do live market research. Go write down your buyer persona in detail. Is it male, female? What is their name? What do they look like? Where do they live? Where did they study? Where do they work? What kind of family life do they have? How often do they travel? What social media platforms do they hang out on? That will help you understand their behavior, the way that their mind space is right now, where they connect the dots, how they connect the dots. Because if you are targeting a Mark and you're posting on Facebook every Friday night at 7, you're missing the opportunity to speak with Mark, because Mark doesn't go onto Facebook at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. He's on LinkedIn on a Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Friday nights, he's spending time with his family. All right, so you need to understand your target market. Is that important? Because we now know who our target market is, we know the social media platforms. So if you are posting across the board and you are doing the same kind of post on all your social media platforms, aren't you maybe spreading yourself too thin? You need to have laser focus. You need to target one place. So if we have identified that our Sarah hangs out on Instagram, then focus your marketing strategy on Instagram for now. All right. Then, yes, don't fall into that trap of posting on social media for the sake of looking and being active. And also, do not, please, I beg of you, do not post for other people in your industry. So if you're a virtual assistant, don't post for other virtual assistants. If you're a graphic designer, don't post for other graphic designers. You are putting content together for prospective clients and for your current clients. That is who you're targeting on your social media. We'll go through now the campaign, but there's got to be a strategy behind this as well. The other thing that we covered in the session was fonts, colors, hashtags. And a lot of you came back to me afterwards and said you had no idea the importance of colors, for instance. Now, with fonts, we want to make sure that there's that it's the same across the board. So if you have a website that you're not using Helvetica here and Arial there and Times New Roman over here, why? Because we want to make sure that there's consistency across the website, because it's trust factors that we're sending out. Okay, so if the fonts are the same, then it just means that we haven't copy and pasted information from different places and put it on our website. All right, so we want to make sure that our fonts are in place and that obviously they're legible. There's consistency because it's part of your branding. So in my business, we use Century Gothic because that's my branding, it's our branding. And in our emails and everywhere else, we use Century Gothic. Okay, so you need to know what is your font for your particular brand. And then we come to colors. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to be a guest lecturer at a college in 2 weeks' time, and I'll be speaking to millennials. Now, I need to put a presentation together. So what colors would speak to millennials? Would I use orange? Would I use purple? Would I use more blue and reds? So I need to go and do my research to understand subliminally what colors would speak to them as I speak on my topic. So it's not just slapping together a presentation, slapping together marketing collateral, your website. You need to make sure that the colors you're using speaks to your target audience. And if I'm not mistaken, it's, let's say, for instance, ladies between the age of 34 and 45 respond very well to purple. Okay, whereas men in that same age group would respond much better to light blue. All right, so you really need to know your target market. You need to know it inside out. If I wake you up in the middle of the night, shake you awake, you must sit up and I ask you, target audience, tell me quickly, reel it off. Then you must know person's name, their age, where they're based, their life story, because every piece of content that you put out, you're writing, you are putting it together for a Sarah, for a Mark, for a Trevor, whoever it is that your target audience is. You're speaking to one person. So every content piece needs to speak to that person, whether it's your blogs, your videos, whether you're doing static posts, whether the image speaks to them, your website speaks to them, your email marketing, your newsletters, everything needs to speak to your target audience. And then it goes without saying, when you post, hashtags are very important. It's become more important other than just Twitter and Instagram. There's now algorithms that help you become part of feed on LinkedIn and Facebook. So people will subscribe and say, I want to follow everything hashtag sales, everything hashtag virtual assistant, everything hashtag business owner. All right, so you want to make sure that even if people are not necessarily following you right now, that somewhere, somehow, your things pop up if they and go physically search hashtag sales. All right, so your hashtags are also very important. And we spoke about A/B testing. We spoke about having different sets of hashtags. I encourage you to go back to that session and familiarize yourself again with that content and implement it. In the comment section, guys, let me know who of you have been using your hashtags religiously and doing A/B testing. Okay, so let me know in the comment section. All right, the next week, the following week, the week after the brand culture session, we spoke about LinkedIn and how to optimize LinkedIn to grow your business. LinkedIn's a fantastic tool, especially if you're in a B2B space. It is the highest converting platform from visitor to client than any other social media platform. It's also the platform that generates the most leads in the B2B space. If you are doing B2B, so business to business, make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date. Let's quickly run through the tips that we shared in that session. So we spoke about having a professional headshot. It goes without saying, you're not going to have a photo of you and your doggy on LinkedIn. It's a business platform, guys. You're not going to have a photo of you drinking a beer. You're also not going to have a photo. I can tell you right now, if you want to hook up with me on LinkedIn, you don't have a profile photo, I'm going to say decline. I'm not going to accept you in my circle, because if you cannot show your face, then what else are you hiding? So make sure that your headshot is professional, that it's up to date, that it's relevant. So if you have a photo of you from 2013 and it's now 2019, chances are you might have changed over the years. You don't look the same. So make sure that your headshot is professional. Guys, you can even go and do online research on how to do a selfie that's professional. Okay, so you don't need to go and pay a photographer to do this for you. You can do it from your cell phone. The next thing we spoke about in LinkedIn was the real estate. So when you land on the profile, the real estate, the part just above your profile image, is to optimize that. Now, if you went to my profile on LinkedIn, you'd see that I use that real estate to very quickly in 3 seconds tell people what I do. So you can use it as a billboard where you advertise a special for the month, where you speak about a particular product or service. You could speak about your business. You could share motivational quote, but make use of that real estate. It is there for you to use. The next part, and again, here it comes, hashtags and keywords, is to make sure that your profile includes hashtags that are relevant to what you're busy with and the right keywords. Guys, make a note. Beware of keyword stuffing, i.e. that let's say your keyword is digital marketer, that you plump up your profile digital marketer so that the profile is, you cannot read it. We don't know what you're trying to tell us because you just plonked in digital marketer all over the place. So obviously it's got to be appropriate. It's got to be within context, but use the opportunity to use keywords. And the same thing with hashtags. Then we want to make sure that the content on our profile is converting. I'll say it again. We want to make sure that the content on our LinkedIn profile is converting. Now, what the heck do I mean by that? What I'm saying is, you can have a profile that's just there for the sake of having a profile, or you can have a profile that's an online sales agent that will speak to people on your behalf when you're sleeping, when you're not there, when you're in sales meetings. So the content needs to be written in such a way that it's engaging. I want to read more. I want to keep on scrolling down. I want to see what else you're involved with. Wow, you sound like someone I really want to do business with, or that you could be my mentor, or you could be a client of mine, a supplier, or I could refer you to someone because one of my connections spoke about looking for a digital marketer and your profile is so engaging, I'm going to just refer your profile to them. All right, so you make sure that the content is converting. It's the same thing on your website. You've got to have converting content. All right, then we want to make sure that we position your profile. All right, so again, positioning is just, it's not just the business. It's not just your website. It's not just social media. It's everything combined. So position your LinkedIn profile means that if you are a person that optimizes LinkedIn profiles, that you've positioned it in such a way that if I land on your profile, I can tell immediately that you're the go-to person for this. All right, so if you again go to my profile, you'll see immediately I've positioned myself as a sales authority. Anything to do with sales, I'm your go-to girl. Okay, whether it's sales masterclasses, sales workshops, sales training courses, training modules, whatever the case is, when it comes to sales, you need to speak to me. Okay, so how have you positioned your LinkedIn profile? I want you to go and revisit your LinkedIn profile. Guys, if you want me to have a look at your profile and to give a bit of input, I'm more than happy to give my 2 cents worth. Not saying that I know everything, but I'm happy to share my bit of knowledge that I've gained over more than a decade. And I'm happy to give you a little bit of insight and a different perspective on what's happening there. Our next session was covering the 5 sales fundamentals. And you'll see that we covered sales 3 times in this business growth program. Why? Because sales is the cornerstone of any business. No sales, no business. All right, so you need to get very comfortable with the idea of sales. You need to get very comfortable with the idea of selling. And it's not this typical, what you have in your mind, your perception of what sales used to be. It's changed. It is changed so. It's this relationship building, this human-to-human thing. All right, so sales. I want you to start dreaming happy thoughts about sales. All right, the fundamentals that we took a look at in that session was, drum roll please, dun dun dun, target market. Yes, again, you need to know who your target market is. In order for you to have a great and successful sales strategy, you need to understand your target market. Need I say more? All right, you need to know your business. So you need to know your product or your service. Guys, if you don't have clarity on what your business does, if you don't have clarity on the kind of product or service that you're offering, so it's not just this one-dimensional thing. If you don't understand it, how can you possibly expect prospective clients to understand what you're selling? Because if there's murkiness, if there's confusion, people don't buy. Confused people do not buy. Write it down. So you need to make sure that there's clarity, that you have clarity on what you're offering to ensure that there's clarity for the prospective buyer. Relationship building. You know, this is what sales is based on now. This is what sales is built on, is relationship building. People buy from people. So we need to have a relationship first, whether it's on LinkedIn, we've chatted a few times, or we've met once or twice, or we've even brushed shoulders at a networking event. Like, oh, I remember you. Yes. You know, I heard you do your elevator pitch and you spoke about this and that. That's exactly what I need in my business right now. Can we please schedule a meeting? All right. So the relationship building, I almost want to say, goes without saying, because we are forging relationships wherever we go. Whether it's online or offline, we need to build those relationships. We need to develop it in order to develop our sales strategy. We need to establish our authority in our space. Yes, you need to become a thought leader, but even more so, you need to become an authority. You need to be the go-to person globally. So if anyone speaks of a topic and it's within your niche, that your name pops up. So I can already think in the marketing space, there's one or two names for me that's a go-to. In sales, the virtual assistant world, in finances, human resources. I know exactly the kind of people I'll refer and go back to, that I'll go and look at their content so I can learn a bit more and share my knowledge and develop my knowledge based on their teachings, because they have established themselves as the authority. It's that important. And then we also spoke about closing the deal and how to do that. I'm not going to delve into that right now. I encourage you to go back to that session. And even if you just fast forward to that part for right now to understand how to close the deal, do it. You know, again, you have spent so much energy building the collateral, doing the sales, doing the outreach, and now you don't close the deal. Why? Ask for it. Ask for the deal. And if you get rejected, it's okay. I know so many people who, for instance, asked for investment in their business, and they went to Silicon Valley and they spent 3 months there and they were rejected 77 times. And then they came back to South Africa and rejected another 30 times. And then they got their yes. So I want you to look at it this way. With every no that you get in sales, it means that you're that much closer to your yes. All right, so I want you to see it in a positive light. Don't see the no as a rejection and your wheels just come off and for the next 2 weeks you rendered useless because, oh my goodness, someone rejected me. No. I want you to use it and convert that energy into a positive energy and say, right, great, I got a no. Awesome. Cool. I'm that much closer to getting my yes. All right, so you need to have persistence. You need to have resilience. You need to be consistent. You need to keep on going. You gotta keep on keeping on. There's no easy way out. There's no pop a pill and lose 5 kilograms. No, you're not going to read an ebook or watch a video and cool, your business is a success. You've got to do the hard graft. The same as the Sarah Blakeleys of the world and everyone else who took 20 years and were overnight success. Man, you don't know the kind of things that they went through, but maybe you do know because you're currently going through it. So my message to you is to keep on going. Close the deal. Ask for the deal. It's for the success of your business. And it will give you that stamp to say, yes, I got my yes. This is what I need for me to keep on going. This is affirmation for me to know that what I'm doing is the right thing. I'm onto the right thing. I'm going to keep going. Okay. The next session was your sales blueprint. All right, so we took a look at your 6 sales steps. And we need to understand how to prospect correctly because there's ways and ways of prospecting. And opening the sales conversation, which could be online or offline. It could be your outreach in your marketing message. It could be social media platforms that you're using. And then we need to understand our prospects' needs and wants. So again, we're not just going to fling mud at the wall and say, I've got a business, I've got a product, I've got a service, people will come. No, we need to understand what will make them come, what will make them choose us to do business with. So if we understand what their needs are in their particular business, it's going to make it so much easier to present our product or service to them to close the deal. We spoke about presenting our solution, and we want to do it in such a way that it will bring the message across, in a sales meeting in person, in a digital meeting. So prepare a nice presentation pack. Make it unique to every person that you're presenting to. So bring stats in from their particular industry. Speak about case studies that are relevant to them. But we need to make sure that we tailor the presentation to them. And then we spoke about handling objections. And you know what? You're going to get objections wherever you go. It's going to happen. But the great thing is, if you have a market that you keep presenting to, so it's the same industry, it's the same kind of people that you're speaking to, then the same kind of objects will be raised, won't it? My thought to you, or my suggestion to you, is to maybe build an infographic to handle the most common objections that you keep on getting. So if it's 3 or 5 of the common things that you keep getting in every sales meeting, or every time you send out a quote and you get an email back saying, but what about this, this, and this? Then negate that before it comes up. So when you email your proposal, email the objection management tool, whatever it is, infographic or a document or a case study, whatever it is that you put together. If it's an in-person meeting, bring it with. But handle the objection before the prospect even raises it. So before the thought even comes up in their mind, you've managed it. And then again, closing the deal. Guys, I don't want you to go to all of this effort and to all this trouble. And I know for some of us to put a proposal together could take 2-3 hours. Why are you going to waste that time and not close the deal? So make every effort to get the business. We're not always going to get every quote that we send out, but if we can close 8 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 deals, awesome. But you got to make a mission of it. You got to make it your business to close those quotes. What we also spoke about in the sales blueprint was email marketing, and we covered some very cool templates that you can use. So if you go back to that session, you'll see that I shared a couple of email marketing templates that you can copy and paste and just tweak it a little bit to make it more yours, more relevant to your business, and send it out. We also covered action steps on how to do this effectively. And we covered templates that you can use on social media and action steps to do this effectively. So again, I encourage you to go back to those sessions and make use of the templates that we shared there. Please, that's why I put them out, is for you to use it. We covered business systems and processes. And this is quite a cool one, because you understand that you reach a point in your business where you got to start pulling all the loose ends together, and no nicer way than a business intelligence tool to do that. We've got one in our business that we're currently using, and it's working beautifully. It gives you great insight into what's happening in your business, and it also helps identify flaws and gaps that you can fill. So I would definitely encourage you to implement some form of business intelligence tool. There's a lot out there. I don't even know the names of all of them. So go do your research, go and find what will work for you. In this session, we spoke about Bittrex. Bittrex has a free option for, I think it's either up to 5 or 12 users. I'm not sure, but the free option is there. And the cool thing is that you can now start using a CRM. The importance of having a CRM means that you have all your data in one place, all your client information, makes it easier to keep track of your leads. It makes it easier to keep track of tasks and projects for yourself, for your team, and for your clients. You can automate your marketing. The HR side of the business intelligence tool means it makes it so much easier to keep track of staff, where they're working, especially if you're working with consultants. If you're working with full-time employees, it helps you give overview of what they're doing on a daily basis and making sure that they are always productive. We also spoke about productivity tools in this session, and it's very important to stay motivated and productive. Guys, we only have so many hours in the day. You have a business to run, you've got a household to run, you have partners, you've got children, you've got other interests, hobbies and stuff. So we all have a 24-hour day. What are you achieving in your 24-hour time? So I want you to take a look at how you're spending your time. If you need to reduce screen time in terms of being on social media, watching Netflix, in order for you to be more productive in your business, then do that. Somewhere along the line, you need to make a sacrifice. And what are you going to sacrifice? What are you prepared to set aside for now in order to make this business work? Are you prepared to sacrifice sleep? Are you prepared to sacrifice lifestyle? Are you prepared to sacrifice social time? Whatever it is, what are you prepared to do to take your business to the next level, to scale it? Because I'm sure you don't always want to be a solopreneur if it's only you in the business, or if you have 5 team members, maybe it's time to start delegating tasks and employ 2 other people to help you. So we need to look at how we spend our time and where we spend our time to make us more productive. Again, we all only have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your 24 hours? Finance fundamentals for the small business. All right, so you may not think it's that important because it's just you or you and 2 other people, but you need to make sure that your finances are in place on the business side. Obviously on the personal side too, but we're speaking about your business right now. And we covered a lot of financial terms. It was, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 slides of financial terms that you should know as a business owner. You don't have to reel them off, but you should be familiar with them. We spoke about the importance of having a business plan because the business plan will help dictate where the budget goes and how we are spending our money to make sure that there's cash flow. Then we took a look at revenue and expenses. So what kind of revenue you need to bring in to make sure that the business is not running at a loss. So if we're breaking even for the first few months, that's fine. But what can we do to switch things up to make sure that we are running successfully, that we are running profitably? It's very important to have bookkeeping in place to keep track of everything because SARS is going to knock at your door. Even if you have under $1 million turnover, you have your own tax, but we all are responsible when it comes to money. So make sure that the money in the business is accounted for, that you have track of everything, and that you have positive cash flow. And I want to say in this part, it's very important to make sure that you have marketing budget. Okay, very, very important to spend money to make money. Yes, they say you don't need to spend money, and it's fine. There are times that you can do free marketing, absolutely, and you can get great results from it. But there does come a time in your business that you need to be prepared to spend a little bit of money in order to make more money. Okay. This was a very cool session. So what we did here was we asked everyone to send in their questions prior to going live, and we addressed your questions in the session, and we had quite a cool session with regards to answering your questions. And the other questions that came back, the most commonly asked question was social media, the importance of social media, what platforms to use, etc. We also took a look at converting websites and analytics, understanding how a website is your online sales agent, how to use content that converts a visitor into a prospect, into a paying client. One of the questions that was asked was, how do we differentiate ourselves from the rest? And we covered this. How do we stand out from our competitors? How do we rise above the noise so that our business is seen, that others want to engage with us and do business with us? Startup basics. So if you're starting out in your business, is understanding what we need to put in place in order to make this successful. And one of the things is the business intelligence tool. The other thing is knowing your target market. And the next thing is sales. Sales is the cornerstone of any business. If you're not comfortable doing sales, either you need to start getting comfortable or you need to outsource it or a part of that sales function. We took a look at marketing segmentation. Another question that came up was how to engage with prospective investors. And that's not funding for your business. It's either angel investors or a capital investment company that will buy shares in your business. And then again, how to remain productive and motivated. Because guys, I know we reach fatigue. We reach a point where, man, we hit a wall and we feel like we cannot keep going. So it's our job to keep our minds fed with knowledge, to keep ourselves motivated on a daily basis, whatever it looks like for you, whether it's listening to podcasts, whether it's reading a book, whether it's watching motivational videos. but we need to keep ourselves motivated. If it's taking a walk outside in nature, if it's treating ourselves to a great cup of coffee at a neighborhood coffee shop and people watching, if it's reading a book under the trees, if it's lying outside at night staring at the stars, whatever it is that motivates you, you need to do it. Because ultimately, this journey starts and ends with you. You're responsible for your mental health. You're responsible for your health, and you're responsible for the health of your business and your team. All right, so what are the ways that you remain productive and motivated? So go check that section out in that week's session. Then we spoke about digital marketing. And yeah, again, we have our unique selling proposition. So it's very important to understand what is that one thing that makes us stand out from the rest. Target market. Surprised? I'm not. All right, so you really, really, really need to know your target market. Then we took a look at your marketing strategy, the customer acquisition journey. So how it looks like from the moment you do your outreach, so your online marketing through social media, to engaging with the prospective client, to taking the conversation offline, to eventually setting up a meeting and making that person a client. So that's quite an interesting one. The do's and don'ts of digital marketing, go check that section out. There's a couple of don'ts that you don't want to do. And then we take you through your marketing methodology step by step. So go and implement what we shared in that section. Guys, it's easy steps for you to follow. But I think the hard part is breaking the ice, is doing it, and then consistently doing it day in and day out. Even if you set aside 20 minutes every day on working on your marketing, do it, but book it. Don't think that, oh, okay, I've done it for today, and then 2 weeks later, but you haven't touched it, and then you want to see results and you're not seeing results. And then we spoke about all things sales, and sales is that important that we keep on bringing this topic up. So we covered tips on how to be a successful salesperson. And when we speak about being a successful salesperson, what we're saying is you as the CEO, you as the founder of the business, you as the business owner, the consultant, the receptionist, whoever you are in the business, you are a salesperson and you need to see yourself as such. Wherever you are in business, wherever you are in person, on email, online, you're selling. You're representing your brand. You're representing your business. So you need to make sure that your mind space is right, that you see yourself as the person who is an advocate for your brand, an advocate for your business. We shared your sales strategy template here, so you can go and look at the steps there and implement them very easy. We take you through how to do a sales call effectively. And we're not speaking about cold calling. What we're saying is you have perhaps online reached out to someone that you want to do business with. You had a few conversations online, whether it's in LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. And now you're going to pick up the phone and chat with them to set up that meeting. And what to say in that call to make sure that it's effective, that it's successful, and that you are comfortable doing the call. So a very cool tip shared there. What will also happen, and it's life, you make the sales call, the person's not available. They're either on the line, they're in a meeting, they're out of office, and now you need to voicemail message. Ooh. And what do you say in that voicemail message? Because remember, in person, you've got 8 seconds to make a great impression. So you have 8 seconds, the first 8 seconds in that voicemail to make sure that that person, 1, keeps listening to your message, and 2, returns your call. So we share very cool tips there on how to do that effectively. And also how to effectively send up a follow-up email. So you've done the sales meeting, you sent out the quote. What do you say and do now in order to take this conversation to the next step? And then we also shared some closing techniques. So again, you've taken the time and you've expended the energy to put all of us together. Please make sure that you close the deal. Don't leave it hanging. I can also tell you right now, through experience, if you don't follow up, someone else is going to get the deal. It may be that you've now procrastinated for 2 weeks to follow up on a quote because you just, oh, maybe the client doesn't have time to go through everything. No, follow up. Because if you follow up today, you get the deal. If you follow up today, but your competitor followed up yesterday, they got the deal purely because they followed up. All right, so make sure that you follow up. A wise man once said, and write this down, the magic of sales lies in the follow-up. I'll say it again. The magic of sales lies in the follow-up. So be sure to follow up. Don't leave things to chance. Don't hope that, oh, I'll get a call or an email to say I got the deal. No, you take the action. You go and get the deal. Then we chatted about all things marketing, and we shared some very cool marketing tips in this session, as well as your marketing plan. We looked at 11 elements that every website should have. So converting content, making sure that your message above the fold is correct, making sure that you have call to actions, fonts, colors, hashtags, keywords, analytics. All these good things are covered in that particular part, and it's so important. Guys, if you are working in a business, you've created a business, you're a founder, a business owner, wherever it is you find yourself in business, make sure that your business has a website. You have to have an online presence. Besides social media, you need to have a website. Like your LinkedIn profile, your website is your online sales agent. Your website should speak for you on your behalf. Your website should be converting to take a visitor on a journey and tell them what steps to follow in order to engage further with you. Why else do you have a website? Because you don't just want to have a pretty picture and I see the website, okay, cool, and I go off it. No, you want the visitor to come to the website, to read certain content, to click a button, to enter the email, or to pick up the phone and call you, whatever the case is. So you want them to take certain action. Make sure that they take the action. We spoke about blogging tips because blogging is still important, and video marketing. Video marketing is highly converting, particularly on LinkedIn. So it's important that you do video marketing and getting comfortable being in front of the camera. However it is that you do that, get yourselves comfortable in front of the camera, because video marketing is very important, and that is the way the market is going. So make sure that you stay with the trend, ahead of the crowd. And then we also looked at very cool marketing tools and apps. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 20 cool ideas that we shared there. So be sure to go and check that out. Alrighty, so it has been a bumper 12-week program. 3 months, guys, 3 months. And I think we have shared amazing ideas and thoughts, opinions, knowledge in these sessions. I know a lot of you have walked away and your mind has been busy with things because you've emailed me or you've messaged me and said, wow, this session blew my mind. You know, you've got me sitting up at night. I cannot go to sleep because I've got these things that I want to do. So I know that it's been a jam-packed 3 months, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. So I want you to take your time and go back to each session, go and implement step by step, but make sure that you do consistently. Make sure that you stay with the program, because I can tell you right now, after 10 years of doing business, everything that we shared here is what we are doing in our businesses. And that's how we were able to grow one business to 22 team members and another business to 25 team members by implementing these exact steps. So it's not something that I thumb-sucked. It really is from experience. It's from the hard knock school of life. It's from, failing in business. It's from succeeding in business. So everything that we shared here is really things that you can go and implement, and you will see results. But you're only going to see results if you do the hard graft, if you do it consistently, if you're prepared to make sacrifices. All right, guys, I want to say thank you so much. It's been such an amazing journey. I am honored to have done this with you. Thank you for your time every week. Thank you for your great questions, your input, your opinions and your thoughts. I have absolutely loved doing this. So I'm now going to catch you in the comments section. And until next time, au revoir.